Welcome, welcome to Smackdown. There's no Rampage. I've skipped it. This is the third time I've done this because I messed up 3 times. Guys, Rampage started at 9:30, could not see it. So I am not doing it. But I am considering, and I'm probably going to do a ROH review tomorrow. So I'm skipping Rampage. I will watch it. But I'm going to see ROH and I'll probably review that. I just want to let you know this. Now, let's make this clear what this show is all about. This is about the build to the draft. Yes, we got Backlash, but this is the build for the draft. Now, I got my thoughts on that. I'm going to do at the end. I'm going to try and make it short because this is not really a detailed show. Opening, we got the champs with the Usos. In other words, Sammy and Kevin talking to the Usos, jabbing between each other. Matt Riddle attacks Solo as they're talking to one another. And we get a setup for later for pretty much Solo Sikoa versus a Matt Riddle. Now, I got to say this. When the announcement came, and no, I'm going to wait. Let's move on. First match of the night. It is Xavier Woods versus LA Knight. My boy, LA Knight. What did I tell you about what I was thinking about LA Knight, being worried about him? Was he in a program with a Xavier Woods? Yeah. He's a well-known guy. I don't think they've met each other on the indies. By the time Xavier had gone to, FCW to briefly NXT and then the main roster. Well, no. He didn't get on NXT. Went to FCW, then went to the main roster. My mistake. I don't think they met each other. And if they did, it was very brief. But let me make it clear. He was with a Bray Wyatt. And he got nowhere. Now you get Xavier Woods with an LA Knight. And we had a match where both of them need to win. You need to do something with LA Knight. So you need to build this guy up. People know he's worth it. But no, he loses. Then you get Xavier Woods, who needed to win and did win the match. Which the match was fine. It wasn't a bad match at all. But now you just buried a little bit of LA Knight to put over Xavier Woods, who deserves a title run. Let's be honest. After all these years, I've said more than a few times that Xavier Woods deserves to go after the US or IC title. He's always felt, sorry for the noise, he always felt like he could have been a champ. Honestly. So I'm like, he's finally getting a chance against Gunther. Great. But look what he had to do. He had a bit of short little program with LA Knight. And now what's going on with LA Knight? He went through Bray Wyatt. Now he's gone through Xavier Woods. Who is he going to go through next? At least before if they're going to get rid of him. I'm just saying. Now, next match. Let me give it to you like this. Seeing the Latino World Order is cool. Now, like I've always said, I didn't watch a lot of WCW back in the day because I was working and my wife, wasn't really interested that much. She didn't care about wrestling. I barely managed to see it. Hell, I was barely able to manage to see any anime or any kung fu or any shows that wasn't connected to Blue's Clues for my son. So I didn't see much. Played a little bit of video games she liked, but you get my point. So, when it comes down to it, I didn't see the Latino World Order. I did. But I'm not saying it's a bad concept. It was made in WCW, was good then, and it feels important now, seeing that Santos Escobar, seeing that Selena, Wild, and El Toro. It's fine. I got no problem with it. And then you periodically see Ray come out. Because that's what happened during the match. Well, after the match, actually. Was Santos Escobar and Damian Priest good? It was an alright match. I cared more about the segment before them about Bad Bunny. Because since they're going to go to they're going to Puerto Rico. I don't really care about going to Puerto Rico. I don't really care about watching anything from Puerto Rico, even though I'm part Puerto Rican. That's not me. I'm glad that they did incorporate Bad Bunny. I'm glad they're trying to incorporate they're both Puerto Ricans. They're trying to incorporate their heritage. There's nothing wrong with it. Once in a while, when you put it in a wrestling context, it works. There's no problem. Doing the Latino World Order, there's nothing wrong with it. You got Mexicans, you got a Puerto Rican. I think, yeah. You got Zelina Vega, she's Puerto Rican, I believe. So, doing something that is Latino, there's no problem with it. And the segment wasn't bad. The wrestling wasn't bad. And people are very interested in it. So, it's all good all around. Hopefully, they'll continue the booking. And hopefully, Ray will be the runner of the entire group. Even if he's not there every single time, knowing that Ray is the leader of the group is important. I'm just saying. Next, Shinsuke Nakamura come back. Look like a kimono with long sleeves. Basically destroying a Madcap Moss who was trying so hard with his woman by his side, screaming at him, kill him. It was okay. But here's the thing that I'm worried about when it comes to Shinsuke Nakamura. Problem is that if Vince is booking him, he's not going to get anywhere. If Triple H is booking him, he'll get somewhere, at least until Vince stops it. Now, I still don't know who's running SmackDown. I know Vince is going to run Raw, I'm sure of it, when he's in the mood. But we don't know when that is. We've heard rumors that Vince will, when he's in the mood, do Raw or SmackDown. We don't know when. This show wasn't that bad, but you could see some of these weirdness. Like when it came to Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan dealing with Sonya Deville. And weren't we told that they were going to do something with Chelsea Green? They've done nothing with her but they decided to stick her with a Sonya Deville. Two damn good looking women who both can wrestle pretty well. And they're doing nothing. Now I'm sure people would say, dude, they're doing something. That's their stick. There's a point when the stick works and when the stick doesn't work. They stuck them together because they had no idea what to do with them. They weren't coming up with nothing when it came to Chelsea Green. They slapped her with Sonya Deville because they got nothing for her to do either. That's the deal. Let's be honest. That is the damn deal. That's what we got. Simple as that. And the key of this, it's sad. And it shows they don't give a damn about the women's division. Was their segment with Raquel and Liv fun? No, it felt cringe. Trying to congratulate each other how they want to destroy people was cringy. That didn't work. Whoever wrote that for them, you know what? If I was in front of them, smack the taste out of their mouth because that was just crap. But was it important for the women's title? No. And yes. At least they are still showing it. People are still cheering for it, even though the division sucks. But still, it had to have something. Now, let me give it to you like this. Seeing the Viking Raiders destroy we know the draft is coming. Seeing the Viking Raiders destroy a tag team that was just thrown together that got over when it came to Ricochet and Braun Strowman doesn't really help them. And I'm talking about all four of them. Does it help the Viking Raiders? Not really. Does it help Braun and Ricochet? Not really. Because we don't know where they're going to go in the next 2 weeks. We don't. When this draft happens, I'll give you my thoughts in a minute, but you get my point that you don't know. And then Solo Sikoa versus a Matt Riddle. Now, as I was about to state in the beginning of this video, when Paulie said they got a shot at the titles in 2 weeks, and that's the Usos, they will win. He made emphasis on win really badly. And if they don't, the tribal chief will be tired of this annoyance. And he looked right at both of them. He looked right at them both. And just as Sami Zayn hinted in the beginning of that show, where Jey Uso is not seeing that his own baby brother, Solo Sikoa, was ready to take his head off. So it's only a matter of time before both of them are going to get their heads taken off, if they are going there. Match was fine. In the end, Solo did manage to win, even when both groups, and this is the champs, the former champs, rejected. They came back even without permission. They started fighting each other. Then you get that. Was it done well? It was alright. Seeing Solo basically bury a Matt Riddle under the table after he chokeslams him. Not power slam, chokeslams him. Through the announce table. Well, sort of through the announce table. He threw him up. The table didn't break. He slid off. Then Solo just picked it up and threw it on him because it didn't break. I will tell you this. The segment was okay. The show was alright. It wasn't great. It wasn't. But I'm going to tell you this. Do I believe that this draft is going to work? I don't think so. What I believe is going to happen is this. In 2 weeks, we're going to be building up to the draft. We'll probably have the pay-per-view just before the draft, unless I'm wrong, and the draft will happen right after the pay-per-view. I do believe it will be 4. And then, when the draft is over, we're going to see the aftermath of Vince's decisions. Because I just don't see a Triple H making the decision of who goes to Raw, who goes to SmackDown, who's pulled off of NXT. I just don't see it. Vince controls everything again. And now because he is the CEO, well, the president. No, not president. He is the head of the board of directors. Well, you know the reason I'm botching here? I don't want to think about this, knowing that in 2 to 3 weeks' time, when we get the draft, it's going to suck. And I've heard just Alex being optimistic about the draft. He's being as optimistic as he can. Then you see JD. He is not completely optimistic, but he's curious to see what's going to happen. Me, I'm not curious. And I'm not optimistic. I go by what I know. And this is what I know. The draft is going to give us people that we know are going to be needing to be on each show. But then I just do not believe the booking afterward is going to work. We have no idea if they're going to be making sure Raw and SmackDown are separated. We have no idea if they're going to separate the titles immediately. We have no idea the tag titles will be separated. There's a very strong chance we're going to be having people who are supposed to be separated be intermingling back and forth from Raw and SmackDown, not because there's a clause. It's just Vince is just going to throw whoever he wants on either show when he's in the mood. That's the deal. That is the way it's going to be. I just do not see the booking long term as long as Vince is there to work, no matter how hard Triple H works. I'm just saying. And this is my review of SmackDown. Give me a comment below. I will be working on 2 things. One, tomorrow I should be able to do ROH. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything else. 2, one person did ask about the Impact Diaries. I'm considering doing the Trey Miguel one. Guys, tell me below if you want me to do a review of Trey Miguel's Impact Diary. Peace.